Now back to AM Northwest. Here's Paul and Kathy.
Welcome back. Well, we know you survived it with 4 sons, but some of us are still going through it. One of the biggest challenges for parents, raising teenagers, giving them that sense of confidence and allowing them independence, but still getting your own way when you're the parent, right?
Pretty much.
Well, our next guest is in the process of raising 3 sons. She's been studying this topic really for 25 years. Her latest book is called The Sacred Flight of the Teenager, A Parent's Guide to Stepping Back and Letting Go. Please welcome Dr. Susan Kuzmarski.
Hey, Susan. Good to see you again. Welcome back.
Nice to see you, Paul.
Nice to see you. So you are really big on letting go, which is probably the toughest thing for parents to do during those teenage years. How do you achieve that?
It's tough. It really is tough. I think that recognizing, first of all, that family life is attaching, but it's also detaching. It's loving and it's letting go. And probably letting go is really the hardest part. And I have 3 boys of my own. I'm attracted to the topic of adolescence. 25 years ago, my doctorate looked at what teens learn socially in settings outside school. So I've been looking at this for a long time. I also taught teens leadership skills, put workshops on for them, worked with teens, older teens in college to help identify their values. But it wasn't really until I had 3 teens of my own. I have an 18, 16-year-old and a preteen, a 12-year-old, that I really got it. I learned something about letting go.
What do you mean letting go? This is when we're supposed to put the hammer down, isn't it? I mean, what do you mean letting go?
You know, set the curfew, set the rules. Are you saying let go of all that?
Letting go is realizing that there is a sacred flight. It's this life journey that every child takes through adolescence into adulthood. And it's a time for parents to really start doing things differently with their teens and starting as early as possible. It's helping them become very strong and independent and responsible.
Well, give me an example then. Your child's going out on a Saturday night. Do you say, be home by 11 o'clock, or do you just let that go?
That's a great example. What you do in the family is you get together and you come up with a set of family rules. Everyone's equal, everyone's involved. And you have a specific list of rules and the consequences for breaking them. So when the kid, when your teen, let's say our 16-year-old James, our middle son, he doesn't come home. He's supposed to be home when he was 16 at 11:30. If he's going to be later than that, he has to call. If he doesn't call, the consequence is then he can't go out the next time he wants to. But the parent isn't playing the heavy hand here, which is a key. You just simply follow through with the consequences. So the rules are very important in families because they protect all the family members' dignity and their sanity. It's very important to have harmony in the home, and coming up with a set of rules as a family with everyone equal is critical.
Well, Susan, I don't want to blow your act out of the water here, but we've asked the son you mentioned, James, to come in today, and he's in our audience.
Oh.
And James, I'm wondering, all this business about letting go, do you hear that and go, oh, right, or is Mom telling it like it is?
She's telling it like it is a lot. I think it is important to let go, but I mean, I still love my mom. We get along really well.
Have you been through this scenario just mentioned of you not being home at 11:30 and calling, and has that worked?
I've gotten better. I do call now. If I'm going to be late, I call, and I have not been able to go out a couple times because I didn't call. So.
Right. When you do break the curfew and you suffer the consequence, do you resist and argue with your parents about it, or do you accept it because it's the family rule?
Well, there might be a little bit of argument, but after a while, you know, I realized that I should have called, and that would have been the right thing to do. So.
Sounds like the message can get through.
The message can get to. Argumentation, though, is part of teens. There's a chapter in the book called Rude and Argumentative, and you have to know as parents that teens love to argue, and it's part of their learning at this point. They've entered a new phase of thinking, and it's abstract thinking. They're no longer in that sort of early phases where kids are thinking very concretely, and so they love to argue and practice it on you.
And parents get a lot of practice at it as well. The book, once again, is called The Sacred Flight of the Teenager by Dr. Susan Kuzmarski. We thank you and your son, James, for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
A lot of fun. Thanks. Come back and see us.
Thank you.
AM Northwest continues in just a moment. We'll be right back.